Hello everybody, welcome to eth-ter-i-die. This is something I've been working on for the past few months, going from zero coding experience to what you see here. And essentially eth-ter-i-die is an auto-generating instruction list, like instruction guide really, for your beneficiaries that will be able to access your Ether and Ethereum based assets when you die. So essentially you just click a few buttons of the certain applications you use, click on the download, and then open up the .txt file that's generated, then edit that to essentially make it sure it's more specific to you, print that, and then you handwrite your kind of user details, your unique details like seed phrases and things like that onto the piece of paper, and then you hide those pieces of paper like you've never hidden anything before. Because if anybody finds this piece of paper, that's all your Ether and Ethereum based assets gone. So keep it with, for example, your seed phrases, or I don't know, locked up in a safe box if you're somebody who has a safe box, I'm not too sure. But anyway, the whole point is to build up that instruction list so people can actually access the assets that you're interfacing with through the Ethereum blockchain. Okay, that's enough speech. Let's actually show you what to do. I would preface this with this is very much the beta version because I'm still working on it, and will, to be fair, I probably will always be working on it, adding in new dApps and services when I can, and if the demand is there for it, I will absolutely be doing that. So anyway, let's scroll down to eth-ter-i-die. Oh yeah, you can access eth-ter-i-die by eth-ter-i-die.rip. I didn't know you could have a .rip domain end name thing until I bought it. So there you have it. I hope you've learned something new today as well. Okay, now without further ado, let's go into how you would kind of create these files. So we'll first off take a look at the instructions. That gives you a bit of an idea of what I've just really said about, okay, you download the file and then da-da-da-da-da. Great. What we want to do is actually select the options. Currently, these are the only options I've created for you. I apologize, I need to get more things on there. But if you've got any feedback or any things you want to add, just let me know. Keen to add more and creating new guides. I do want to add alternate wallets as soon as possible, so alternate wallets would be the likes of Ledger and Trezor. I'm just waiting for the funds to actually buy those devices, because I want one personally, but we'll get there. It's a long journey, eh? But anyway, so the whole point of eth-ter-i-die is you click the kind of options that you want to use. So I would actually recommend using the Blockchain Explorer, because within the guide and instructions, it goes through examples. If you're able to use the Blockchain Explorer as an example, the beneficiaries will essentially get an idea of how to use the instructions as well, so they kind of test their knowledge with utilizing the Blockchain Explorer choices. So I'm going to choose eth.vm or eth-vm for this one. My on-ramp, I'm going to choose Coinbase. So the on-ramp and off-ramp are essentially how your beneficiaries are going to get all your Ethereum assets translated into money in their bank account. I know ideally they'll just take all their assets and put them into their own Ethereum address and keep things alive in the blockchain, but I'm also a bit of a realist. Like me personally, my mum is probably not going to jump onto the world of Ethereum within the next few years. I'm trying. Don't get me wrong, I'm really trying my hardest to kind of slowly educate her in the art, but at the moment it's too much for her to kind of grasp really. But we'll get there. So the on-ramp off-ramp is a way to get your beneficiaries to get them money from your Ethereum address, your Ethereum wallet, into their bank account. What you do need to have is a wallet dApp gateway. So currently MetaMask seems to be the only kind of wallet and dApp gateway in order to facilitate most of the interactions with dApps and services. That's not saying there aren't ones out there, but it's just essentially MetaMask has the kind of monopoly on kind of the dApp gateway, and essentially adding and connecting your wallet to MetaMask to interact with the site. It just seems to be almost the kind of the standard, especially when you're adding multiple different services, multiple different dApps. MetaMask does everything in regards to dApps and services that you want to interact with at the moment. I will add any more that people request, of course, but it very much makes sense to have MetaMask being your wallet and dApp gateway, or sorry, your beneficiary's wallet and dApp gateway, in order to access all the different dApps and services that essentially your Ethereum assets are being stored in. So as I mentioned previously, the alternate wallets are coming soon. I'll get to that. So the next bit is all the dApps and services. So currently there's only 3, but I am working on getting as many instruction guides as I can do regards to adding more information about it. So yeah, so far compound, pull together, and easy staking. So the whole point is, if you use these services, click on them, and then they will be added to the instruction guide to retrieve the assets will be added to your download file. And for the exchanges, so the Uniswap instruction guide kind of there is a note in here as well. So there is a note for the author within the Uniswap guide where you kind of need to manipulate the text in order to make sure all the different tokens you have in your account or your wallet, you kind of make sure they're noted down in this kind of section, in the Uniswap section. Mainly because there is a lot of kind of spam coins and things like that you don't want your beneficiaries to waste their time on. Just mention the ones that you want to be dealing with. Okay, so you can download the file. There is advanced settings. So the advanced settings are to include or exclude. There's an introduction and an end section. The introduction adds a kind of guide or an introductory kind of message about Ethereum, what it is, essentially trying to give as concisely as possible the information your beneficiaries will need in order to extract all your Ethereum, without trying to blow their mind with all these different kind of concepts or the kind of cryptography behind it. Just keeping it as simple and concise as possible. I've done a lot of rework trying to make it, and a few of my friends have kind of helped me with it who aren't kind of into Ethereum, and I'm constantly changing that one as well to make sure it is as readable and understandable as possible. It's included by default. Also in the end section there is a glossary of certain terms as well. So within the document, if there's a kind of capitalized letter just randomly in the sentence, it means it will be in the glossary for further kind of reading. There's a bit more information in the glossary than in the intro section, so it really is a bit more further reading for your beneficiaries. There is an option to exclude all that. So for example, if you've got multiple wallets, multiple addresses that you want to kind of create these files for, click on the exclude button, and that will essentially, the intro and end sections will not be included. So yeah, that's it. All that's left to do is download the file. There is a disclaimer. Please read this disclaimer. This is a service I've created to help you. I'm not liable for the Ether and Ethereum tokens that happens once you've downloaded this file. All the private information is you're handwriting that, okay? I'm not a lawyer. This is probably not the right thing to put down as a disclaimer, but I'm just trying to help people. So please don't sue me. That's probably the best way to put it. So I should just rewrite this and say, just please don't sue me. I'm trying to offer a service. So click on agree and download if you agree not to sue me. And then, you have the text file open. So text file created. So I'm going to open it with the text editor. So eth-ter-i-die.text, and it shouldn't be that big, this file. It's going to be as simple as possible. So it's not a PDF or anything like that, because I know they can be hacked and all that stuff. I'm not too sure about .txt if they can be hacked, but I just want to make it as safe and editable as possible. So you click on OK, and for me, that means the file will open up. So what it means at the top, so this is, you'll see this here. So I've made sure that the text files don't go over a standard A4 page. So if you are going to print it, all you need to do is go into the print, and then print a file, and then I'm just going to open that particular document up to show you what it will look like. So this is the document that I've just printed on PDF, onto PDF at least, and you'll notice that this top line here is just a bit of a guide. I think I've spelled retrieval wrong as well, retrieval. I'm probably going to need to edit that. That does seem wrong, doesn't it? Oh well, at least you get another update and deploy of the application, so you know how quickly I am to the updating the files. But anyway, so this should all be, as soon as you download it, it should be printed. It should be easily able to print it, and it should all be kind of in the rightish format. So there's lots of information there. So let's go back to the text file. Let's go back to the text editor and just see. So the whole point is anything kind of underlined is where you, once you've printed it, that's when you manually write it or handwrite that information. So I don't know, dear mum at the top here, and then you just go through the document. I would read it, make sure you understand it, and essentially you're happy to give this to somebody, or for somebody to receive this when they die and give this information. So in the tips and advice, I do recommend you mention a browser to use, just because obviously some people don't use the browsers that, for example, MetaMask are compatible with, so I would recommend you put that information in there. There's a bit of an instruction guide as well, like how the content's produced, or how the input information should be done throughout the document. And then then it'll go into the information. So at the top of every single document or file or instruction set, you have the service name, essentially the service type, when it was last updated and correct of, and also it gives a bit of a note, just saying if the section will require assets being removed, so take extra care, or it's like, okay, this is used to practice. So for example, the Blockchain Explorer section, there's no assets being transferred, so it shouldn't be too scary, this particular section. So in this particular one, all we're doing is looking at the Ethereum address, so they can understand essentially what's associated with my address, and just understand a bit more about kind of how tokens and, well, I've called them assets in this document because it got too confusing. I will probably do a bit of an FAQ video about why I made the decisions I made during the video. So I've called them assets during this document. But essentially using the Blockchain Explorer option, it just helps kind of see what is there to really kind of help get a bit more understanding about Ethereum. So it's not a default, it's not a kind of a necessary section, but I find it useful. I was umming and ahhing about having it as a kind of similar to the intro and outro, having kind of the Blockchain Explorer one being part of it, but I'll wait for some feedback on that. Okay, and then you have some information on the off-ramp, and then as you go down, you have more and more content. I think overall I'm on like 12,000 words for all the different applications already. So in some sections you will have to have like my seed phrase. So this is where you definitely do not write your seed phrase digitally. Get it downloaded, get it handwritten as in your neatest handwriting possible, and then hide it away. And then it just gives you instructions on how to do it. And so essentially every single one of them has instructions regards to all the different sections. So rather than letting you read all this, what you can do, just close this, you can go to the file section. So in the file section, it has links to all the files. So let's say we wanted to check out, let's check out Uniswap. So, this took me so long to work out how to code this, so I'm happy to show you. So Uniswap, and you've got Uniswap, here's the product name, and then what categories it's in, and the file link. And then all you need to do is click on the file link, and then that's all the information contained with the file. So you could also download these manually. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. If you don't want to do the auto-generation thing, you can just download these files yourself. So there's options. You can use this as well to kind of check what's in the content before doing the auto-generation thing. And then, yeah, so that's another option. And yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I would say if you've got any kind of advice, tips, or feedback, or you want any specific dApps, follow the link on the Twitter, my Twitter option. I've also got like the GitHub links and also the YouTube links as well if you want to follow. So every step of the journey for the development of this site has been kind of recorded, and there's a playlist on that, so you can go to the YouTube button and follow that journey there if you're so inclined. But yeah, so thank you for watching. If you've enjoy, and I hope you have a good day or evening if you're in the evening now. Cheers.